All right, guys. So this is another video, primarily because I kind of had a realization after like a little bit of thinking, and I did actually have a talk with her, or like I texted her not too long ago, and it kind of opened up some more. I wouldn't really say clues, but it opened up more evidence for something, and it it really kind of it really just kind of started to unravel itself of what the real issue was and why everything kind of happened the way it did. And I wanted to get this off my chest just because it's better to just get the burden off rather than keep it in my head and think about it all the time. So this is what I wanted to talk about. So it was kind of this click that I sat here every day. I'd sit here every day playing video games, playing video games, laying in bed, doing completely nothing. Maybe getting on my laptop to do some college work. That's the long and short of it. And the problem with that was I just didn't take the the materials I needed. I didn't take the materials I needed. Instead of because like when me and her were together, it felt like she was giving me tools. She was giving me tools and materials that I needed because I was in this hole. I was dug in this hole. And instead of me taking these materials and building myself up, and then me and her can build ourselves up together, I didn't do that. Okay. I didn't do that. I took the materials and I was like, what would I need these materials for? What would I need these tools and these materials for? Because right now I'm living perfectly. I was sitting in that hole of dirt, not getting out because it's like, well, I'm doing fine. But why would I need to get out of this hole? Why would I need to get out of this dirt hole when I'm doing completely fine? I've got video games. There's food. There's you know going to bed, sleeping in all the time. It's like that sounds much better. That sounds like a good life temporarily. And that's exactly what it was. It was that I was stuck living like this, thinking that everything was just a-okay, when truthfully, she was not, she didn't like that. She didn't like that because she, as an actual adult, a mature adult, was building herself up in a better way. She was building herself up, got the license, got the job, going through schooling for what she really wants to work for. And I was still sitting here with none of that besides school. And she really was, and it was because it was from a text that she sent not too long ago where she says she was nothing but understanding to me. And I couldn't agree more with that text because she truly was. She was completely understanding to me. And that's where I feel the downfall that's where I feel a downfall could have happened because I was there and I wasn't, I was given the materials to build myself up with her. She gave me the materials to build myself up. And what did I do? I didn't take them. I didn't. I realized that I'm just sitting here living my life, you know, in my house, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm doing fine. I don't need these materials. I don't need to build myself up because I'm doing fine where I'm at. And that's where I realized I was wrong because I'm not going to be here forever. This isn't how my entire life's going to go down. And not only that, but it I start to understand what she was feeling. She was feeling like, okay, well, I'm going to provide materials and, the positivity that I need to provide to him so me and him can move together. So me and him can build each other up together. And while she's building herself up and she's also providing me and I'm not doing anything with it, then it's like, okay, well then what would be the point in, what would be the point in providing things for him if he's not going to move? And the better question is, why would I stay with someone who's not going to change? That's exactly what it was. Why would I be with someone who's not going to change? And that's something that like I thought up and I was like, that's probably going to be in my head forever, just as a reminder. Why would I be with someone who doesn't change? It's it Sure, it's going to hurt constantly remembering that and being like, okay, well, that was me. That was me who did that. But it's something that is probably very, very correct. That why would I be with someone who doesn't change? And that's how she felt. She felt that being with me was more of a detriment, more of a burden, because she'd have to carry me around because I wasn't doing things for myself. And now it's like she actually texted me that it was similar to that idea that I just wasn't motivated. She said I wasn't motivated. And I start to think that it wasn't a mix of not being motivated. It wasn't that it's not that I wasn't motivated. It wasn't that I wasn't, or it wasn't that I was lazy. It was a mix of all, including incompetence, because I I was given what I was supposed to be given to do the things that I should have been doing, but I didn't do them. That's the truth. I wasn't doing them. It was a complete difference from being, let's say it was a complete difference from being someone who is waiting for a call back for a job than someone who's just not applying anywhere. You know, there's a clear difference there. And that's what I find in this difference in that I wasn't it wasn't that, things just weren't going in my favor. It's just I wasn't working towards it the way I should have been. Things weren't going in my favor because I wasn't providing myself for it. I wasn't getting up and saying, "Hey, I'm going to apply to this job and call them back and be like, okay, I'm interested in working here." I didn't do that. I applied somewhere and then was like, okay, now I'm going to wait for them to email me back. And then they never emailed me back. And then it's like, okay. And then I started getting more frustrated with her because she would tell me, like, did you get any jobs? Did anybody message back? And it's like, no, nobody messaged back. And then she'd tell me, oh, well, you got to call them the next day. And it's like, nobody tells me this. But then guess what? She just told me. And guess what I did about it? I didn't do anything about it. And that's like a clear like flash into my head of like, okay, she just recommended it to you and you didn't do anything about it, you didn't take it. And now it's like, well, there's nothing really to say because that was that was a deliberate, that was a deliberate recommendation and I just completely ignored it. And that's when it's like it starts to snap back with me in my head that like she's recommended me to do so many things either to make things seem easier or to try and change and I didn't take any of them. I didn't. And it's like why did I not? Was it incompetence? Was it late? Was it me being lazy? Was it just me not being motivated? It could have been all three because I just didn't listen. I just didn't listen. I just didn't take the advice I was given and do something with it. That's what I just felt like saying because me and her actually did have a conversation recently today. This is the same time I'm posting that day 2 and 3, but I felt like I might as well add this because day 2 and 3 just kind of was really short. So I feel like maybe adding this would, I guess, add in a little bit more length or add in something else to kind of learn from. But it was, it's like the biggest hit in the head because this should have been something that I was told, or there should have been something that I should have understood, not told, but something I should have understood from the beginning. And yet I never decided, hey, let's take that advice. Hey, let's use this positivity or these ideas that she's recommending me to make this work better or to make this flow a little smoother. I didn't take it, and that is what ruined it. That's one of the big things that ruined it. And it's not only that. There's a lot of other reasons why she left. It's just that's one thing that really hit me today because that was something I should have picked up on and yet I didn't. But there were other things. It's like I had a friend of mine who was very, very rude to her, very, very mean to her, and like that's where the no motivation kicked in. 'Cause it was like I didn't have any motivation to tell him, hey, bro, chill, don't do all that. It's like I didn't have the motivation to say that. And guess what? That started hurting her mentally. Because why would it not? Why would getting made fun of not hurt you mentally? I mean, that's exactly how it would work. And what did I do about it? I didn't do anything about it. I didn't say anything. I didn't stand up and be like, bro, don't don't do all that. I didn't say anything. And then guess what? It started to hurt her. And sure, it wasn't completely my fault because I wasn't the one completely, berating her or making fun of her. I wasn't the one who was doing that. It was my friend that was doing that. But it's still partially the blame is on me still because, well, he's my friend and I should have told him, hey, don't don't do that. It's like that crappy school rule that people made up about like bullying and how like if you see bullying and you don't report it, you're part of the problem kind of thing. That's what it felt like. And it was like, well, yeah, I could have done something about it. And that could have also been a savior to the issue, but I didn't. And now I'm reaping another consequence. Not only that, but it's like then at one point, she was actually telling me, I think we woke up in the morning, she had to go to work, either it was school or work, and she was about to leave. She got her clothes on, she was about to leave. And I told her something. I don't know what the conversation was or how it started, but she was telling me like you need to get a license. You got to get your license. You got to get it. And I snapped and I yelled, which is one thing that I don't like doing. I don't like yelling. I hate yelling. I hate raising my voice. That's one thing about me when it comes to like anxiety and stuff is I don't like raising my voice. I like keeping it quiet a lot of the times when I'm talking to people because I just don't like having to raise it when if they can hear me perfectly fine, there's no reason to raise my voice. But I raised my voice. I yelled at her. And she told me that that's practically the main reason why she instantly just lost interest in me. She instantly lost interest in me because I yelled at her. And at first it was like, okay, I don't like getting yelled at either. So I still see somewhat what's going on here. But I was like, okay, so you'd lose interest in me completely because I yelled at you? And then it was like, well, yeah. And there was a lot of personal issues with her that would result in that, which I'm not gonna explain. But it was there was a clear reason there, and I already knew this. Like I already knew she didn't like being yelled at. I already knew that. And yet I still yelled anyways because I let my emotions get the best of me because when you're constantly telling someone to do something they don't want to do, it starts to anger them, obviously. But it's like when she's telling me this, she wasn't telling me to get on my nerves. She was telling me because that's something I should be working towards. And I got mad all because it's something I didn't want to do. And now I've realized that I was I was just I was just wrong. I was just in the wrong for that. And, you know, noticing all the flaws that I've done and, all the things that have happened, it makes me want to reflect a lot on everything. But it's like it's hard to do when it's like when this person was just so nice to you and like she was, she was very nice. She was very understanding. And that's one thing that kind of always that made this breakup so hard for me is because she of how nice of a person she was. It's like when somebody like from past breakups, these women would, the women that I've dated in the past would look at me and like not want any more conversation. They wouldn't want to know me anymore past that relationship. And um that would kind of tell me that these are people I wouldn't want to date because it's like now a lot of the issues are kind of making themselves known. But for her it was like these issues weren't known to me, or these issues aren't making themselves known because you know, she's not saying that she hates me. She's not saying that she never wants to see me again. In fact, she's very nice. She made it clear that it was just like when she first came to me to pick up her clothes when uh like the first maybe day or so after the breakup, it was like she would hug me and she would say, "I'm sorry. I just I knew this was gonna hurt you. I didn't want to do this, but I know that I needed to." And it's like she's a nice person. It was the best way of telling me that like she truly did not want for this relationship to die. She didn't want for this stuff to, she didn't want this stuff to be, shut down. She wanted this to keep going. She wanted everything that was going on. But the problem was I wasn't providing myself in the way I should have been as an adult to make her feel that way. And now it's like, well, there's not really anything I can do about that now. Granted, yeah, I can talk to her. Yeah, I can be like, oh, well, maybe we can try again, all this stuff. It's like, would I want to try again with her? Absolutely. Would I want for there to be another chance? Of course I do. But I don't know if, you know, things like that, people have always said things about like to not get with or not get back with somebody. But it's like, if people are telling me that I should, you know, grow myself, if I should grow for myself as my own person, should I take that advice or should I just say, forget it, and then and then a little longer down the road, I could be like, hey, you know, I've I've noticed I've done a lot of bad things. I've changed a lot. I've built myself up a lot more from the past, and I want to know if you want to try again. It's like is that is that going to be a bad choice? Because I mean, I wouldn't know. But it's like, you know, if I wanted for that, which it's like I'm on a mix of that I do want it, but I don't want it because not only for the for how people say, oh yeah, don't get back with somebody, you know, but not only that, but there's this it's like there's a devil and an angel on each shoulder, and one is telling me, oh yeah, uh, build yourself up, and be a better person, and maybe down the line she might reconsider going back with you. While then the devil on the other side, on my other shoulder, is like, just just get a driver's license, a job, car, and all this stuff, and then try to get back with her again. So that way you can go back in that comfort state that you were in beforehand because you were comfortable in that state. And it's like, truth be told, I don't. Sure, I want to be in a comfortable state, but I don't want to be in that comfortable state because now I know what that comfortable state does. I know what it does. I know what it has done. It's like, you know, because there's a mix in my head of should I, it's like, I want to go back to a state like that because I liked that state. Well, then there's another that's like, well, she doesn't want that. You don't want that deep down inside because you know, that that causes issues. So it truthfully is just, it's like I'm in that part where I'm making choices. I'm making choices for myself. And these choices are going to be, they're going to be hard choices. And I do want for there to be like I do want for me and her to be together again. I really do because that was a history that I do want to bring back. And that's kind of another thing about me is I was so focused on the past while she was more focused on the present and the future, which is why she felt that why she got over me so much faster because she was more focused on how it would affect her future and her past, while I was kind of froze, taken aback, and stuck on the past of all the things that we've done and how you could really forget that so easily. But now I've really understood a lot of this stuff, and I'm just thinking, you know, time, time is a key. Time is a key. Despite me being a very impatient person, time is a key. It may not unlock every lock, but there are some that it can, because other locks you have to unlock yourself. Time is only a master lock to some locks, not every single one. And that's what I kind of want to go by today is that, you know, some external forces can provide a blueprint, but you're the only one that can really construct it in a way that you can learn from. That might sound a little weird. That might be hard for someone to understand, but truthfully, it's a way I feel in a way that just seems right to me in the current situation. And just want to say, you know, I hope things get better. I mean, I'm working towards everything, so I hope things get better the more I work towards them. But I know I'm gonna hit downfalls. I mean, it's life. That's how that's gonna work. But I hope things get better, and I really do hope that there is some sort of alternative ending, I want to say, because from where I'm seeing things, it just doesn't seem like there is a solid ending that I'm satisfied with. So I want to look for a better ending before I really continue for the gold. And that, I feel that's the right way to say it. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me and watching through. I know a lot of you guys don't watch all the way to the end. I get it. These are long videos, but thank you for at least sticking by and watching a little bit and providing the information, the experience, and the wisdom that you guys have to try and help because it really helps. It really does. And uh I think that'll be it. Um this is gonna be posted same day. It's gonna be a double upload, I guess, because I don't or because I just didn't have anything to say from the first video I posted today, and now I kind of have a lot more that I just didn't get off my chest at first that I was able to now. But yeah, thanks again for watching. And just I wish you guys the best also. I know I haven't said that in any of mine, but I want to say that because now that I kind of have this 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 group of people that we're watching, I want to say that now because I thought nobody was going to watch it first, but now people are. So now I kind of feel like I'm actually having communication with people. And I just want to wish you guys the best also, because I know a lot of you guys are probably going through similar kind of things or just issues that kind of put you in that, dig you in that hole that you are trying to get out of. But, um, yeah, I think that'll be it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around, just hanging with me through this time. But, yeah, peace.